So good morning. How is everyone? I hope you had a restful night, a little bit to eat, not too much to drink. At any rate, we're glad you're here for our second day. The agenda is pretty straightforward. We're going to begin the day with what we call lightning talks. I'll give you a little bit more of an explanation in a minute. We're going to have two sets of breakout panels, again, like we did yesterday. So there'll be 1 hour for breakout panel session number 1, and then another hour for number 2. Then our keynote speaker will be here, and some of you may know or may not know, but it is the governor. Governor Whitmer will be here to talk with us, to welcome us and talk with us, which is great. Go Gretsch. We'll have a panel on the Michigan model for just transition, and then closing keynote by Hillary Doe of Let's Grow Michigan. Okay, so then let's begin. The lightning talks will be a series of speakers who are actually lined up here that will spend 3 minutes to present to us on a particular topic of interest. They have 3 minutes, so sorry speakers, if you go much longer than that, we'll probably have to, we'll cut you off. I won't throw water at anybody. But I think you'll find these to be pretty good. So I'm going to introduce them, and then I'm going to get off the stage. First, we have Dr. Missy Stults from the city of Ann Arbor. Go Ann Arbor, go blue. Danielle Todd from Make Food Not Waste. I need to hear this one really badly. A very good friend of mine, Lauren Mallas, Michigan League of Conservation Voters. Go. Sarah Hutchinson, EGLE's Office of Climate and Energy. Then Zach Pierce from Rewiring America. Yeah. Darren Riley, JustAir. And Sarah Mills, University of Michigan Center for Empowering Communities. So, have at it.
All right, good morning! Woo! All right, you know those ads that say something like, with our revolutionary new formula, you can lose 30% more weight faster than before. Or our product is guaranteed to increase hair growth by over 30% from our competitors. Anybody? No? Maybe? Okay, I'm sure you've heard something bogus like this before. And if, like me, you find it annoying and you really question the authenticity of those kinds of ads, you're not alone. But here is something I know isn't bogus. That with the new direct pay or elective pay provisions, courtesy of the Inflation Reduction Act, local governments, nonprofits, and many other tax-exempt entities will, for the first time, be able to receive payment equal to the full value of tax credits for building qualifying clean energy projects. Projects like solar, geothermal, energy storage, fleet electrification. Now, I'm lucky enough to be working on many of these projects. And with direct pay, we're going to be able to do a whole lot more. Let me give you one example. We've got contracts for $10 million worth of solar in Ann Arbor. Thanks to direct pay, I could get $3 million back. That's $3 million of more solar or geothermal or energy storage or charging that I'm going to be able to deploy. Put another way, I don't have $10 million to spend on projects. I have $13 million that I get to spend. It sounds almost too good to be true, but it's not. It's true. However, the landscape is confusing, and directions on how to file your eligible projects with the IRS are at best murky. And of course, tax-exempt entities don't have experience filing taxes. But don't despair, there is hope. Later today, you can join a special panel to learn more about direct pay and how it can help your community advance your clean energy goals, while also helping the state achieve the My Healthy Climate Plan. Or join office hours being held by state staffers to learn more and get support with preparing your filing. Or ping me after. Because in Ann Arbor, we've got a goal of powering our entire community with 100% renewable energy, and direct pay is going to be a powerful tool in our toolbox to help make that vision a reality. That's why we're preparing our filing right now. So while taxes and the IRS are not normally two of my favorite words, I'm leaning in hard Because direct pay is a pretty revolutionary concept that's going to help all of us rapidly deploy clean energy solutions more equitably at a scale that was previously unimaginable. So join the City of Ann Arbor as we seek to learn more and leverage this exciting moment. Thanks.
Good morning. I feel a little like I'm running for student council, that I've got 3 minutes here and that I should make a promise to you. So here is my promise. When we stop throwing food into the garbage, we will prevent up to 10% of our current greenhouse gas emissions. And how can I make this bold promise to you today? Well, first, it's something that is true, and second, it's something that everyone in this room can do something about. So why is it true? In the state of Michigan, we landfill more than 2 billion pounds of food every year, despite the fact that 12% of people living in Michigan are food insecure. Every year we landfill more than 2 billion pounds of food in Michigan, despite the fact that it's a huge waste of our resources, our water, our land, our transportation resources. Every year we landfill more than 2 billion pounds of food, despite the fact that 30% of our landfills are made up of food, and it's causing us to build more landfills. And when food decomposes in landfills, it instantly releases methane, which is one of the most harmful greenhouse gases. So why do I say it's something that we all can do something about? According to the United Nations, the 60% of all food that's wasted comes from our homes. That means everyone here in this room, despite the fact even if you don't work in the food system or if you're not in government, can start doing something about this tomorrow morning when you wake up. And all of us at Make Food Not Waste, we're a Detroit nonprofit. You can check us out at makefoodnotwaste.org, which I was encouraged to reference. There are 3 things that we think you can do right away, super easy. The first is buy less food. The less food that you buy means you're less likely to waste it. The second thing is, what you do buy, use it. Eat it up. Find a way to get that into your belly. And last, if there's anything that you can't eat, find a way to compost it. Compost in your backyard, in your community, or encourage your local municipality to do curbside pickup. Compost is really important because it feeds our soil. It's an extra layer to sequester carbon from the atmosphere. So, I've made this big promise to you, so now I'm going to ask all of you to make a promise to each other. So please, everyone raise your hand. And when I count to 3, say, I will stop throwing my food in the garbage. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I will stop throwing my food in the garbage. Awesome. We're on our way. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Hard to follow those acts, but hopefully I can live up to it. So we've made incredible progress on clean energy the last few years, from the Inflation Reduction Act to the Clean Energy and Jobs Act, and the public needs to know about it in real ways. A poll from the spring of 2023 showed that 42% of Michiganders have never heard of Biden's clean energy plan, but approval for the plan actually improves by 24 points when they actually receive information on what's included in the plan. So, Michigan League of Conservation Voters Education Fund has set out to change this. We've launched a massive, multi-year campaign we're calling Energy Savings Now, to connect clean energy to people's lives in real, tangible ways. You may have seen some of our people in bright blue t-shirts yesterday. They're hard to miss. We have 3 main components to our program. The first being a massive canvas effort we've launched in partnership with 3 municipalities, Ann Arbor, East Lansing and Lansing, and very soon Oakland County. By July, we'll have knocked on 90,000 doors, talking to people about how the IRA can actually improve their lives. We're using Rewiring America's Calculator, which you'll hear about in a little bit, as one key tool to get people excited about the money they can actually save. Our second component is a large-scale storytelling effort to uplift stories of Michiganders taking advantage of the transition to clean energy, whether it's a family that's saving more money by becoming more energy efficient, or a community or a business installing rooftop solar to improve their community. Real examples of these benefits improving lives. Our first video actually launched, oops, I'm skipping my slides here. Here we go. Our first video we launched featured a church facility manager, Dale, who dramatically lowered his church's energy bills through rooftop solar and was able to provide a well-lit parking lot for his neighbor, a Muslim mosque, during Ramadan. Finally, we're engaging people in their own communities. Everything from community conversations with small groups to actually dive into the details of the IRA and help them know how they can access the funding. To IRA training camps with decision makers at all levels of government, focused on how IRA funding can be used to advance environmental justice, strengthen the workforce, and improve communities. We need to make clean energy a real part of Michigan's identity. People need to feel it. That's the path to continued progress on climate and clean energy in Michigan. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. All right, well, I am super excited to be here giving an overview of Michigan's second ever greenhouse gas inventory and its first one in nearly 20 years. So let me backtrack and let's start with some level setting. In 2005, our #1 source of emissions was from the electricity sector, with emissions from buildings and transportation not very far behind. Combined, these three sectors represented nearly 90% of Michigan's total emissions. Looking ahead to 2019, while the overall distribution is still pretty similar, things have been shifting. In particular, emissions related to electricity now take up 6% less of the overall pie and are more evenly tied with transportation and buildings. Looking at the scale of these reductions compared to 2005, emissions have dropped in nearly every sector across the board, with the electricity sector having the greatest volume of reductions at 23 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, and the waste sector slashing its emissions by over 50%. Our other highest emitting sectors, buildings and transportation, have dropped by 11 and 9%, respectively. So wrapping all of this up into one single number, Michigan has managed to cut our emissions by 15% as compared to 2005 levels, beating out the pace of the broader US. Now that we know where we're at and where we've been, now let's look at where we're going. The My Healthy Climate Plan sets a goal of 52% emissions reductions compared to 2005 by 2030, only 6 short years away. Reducing our emissions by an additional 37% may seem daunting. However, I'd like each of us to take a brief moment to reflect on the past 20 years with me. In 2005, Carrie Underwood won American Idol, and Star Wars Episode 3 and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire were breaking box office records. YouTube made its debut as the newest thing on the internet, and Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston divorced, all while Guitar Hero's release swept the nation. 4 presidents, 3 governors, and a vast landscape of unprecedented legislative and funding changes later, so much has changed. And as we've heard from so many incredible speakers so far, I don't think it's overly ambitious to say that we are better positioned than ever to make this change a reality. The emissions reductions we've already achieved is the 1-year equivalent of taking over 7.5 million vehicles off the road, or the electricity usage of over 6.2 million homes. Every ton of emissions reductions is worth pursuing because every fraction of a degree matters. To me, this inventory is so much more than just an inventory and so much more than that single number you see on the screen. This inventory is a direct reflection of all the effort, sweat, and unyielding perseverance that so many of us have dedicated our lives to. This inventory represents the progress made by every single person inside this room. It's been a labor of love putting together this inventory for the past 2 years, and I look forward to seeing the labor and love that you all put forward every day reflected in this graph as I continue to update the inventory in future years. Thank you.
Good morning. Okay, slides are up. Okay, my name is Zach Pierce, and I'm the Director of State and Regional Policy with Rewiring America. And I have 2 objectives today. I want to briefly introduce y'all to who we are at Rewiring America and announce an exciting new tool that we're releasing for the state of Michigan for homeowners, for renters, and for contractors. Our work at Rewiring America is strongly informed by the fact that 42% of our energy-related emissions in this country come from decisions made around the kitchen table. Whether you're deciding how to heat and cool your home, how to dry your clothes, how to cook your food or get around, those daily household decisions have a huge impact on the trajectory of our greenhouse gas emissions. Cleaning up the electric grid and then extending the positive benefit of that clean electricity across the economy through electrification is the backbone of our overall strategy to achieve our climate goals. And on the demand side, this work translates into the need to install 1 billion electric machines across 120 million households in this country by 2050. We know that electrification is the future. We're talking about technologies that are cleaner, that are more efficient, that are superior. What's not guaranteed, however, is the fact that, or whether or not, the market for these machines will mature and transform at the pace and scale necessitated by the climate crisis. What's also not a given is whether or not these technologies and associated investments will be deployed in those communities that have been historically disinvested and left behind. We need to go electric to achieve our climate goals, but the great news is that deploying these machines also represents a huge opportunity to improve the health, safety, well-being, and economic livelihood of families and communities across this country. And while electric machines may be the future, they're still being deployed in a world that has a lot of path dependency associated with our incumbent fossil fuel system. So one of the strategies that we're working on at Rewiring America is to reduce friction, the friction that's pushing against these electric machines. So shortly after the Inflation Reduction Act passed in 2022, we released what we called our IRA savings calculator. You could calculate all of the federal incentives and rebates that you're eligible for based on your zip code and your income. And since we released that tool, over 800,000 folks across the country have used the calculator. We've had over 300 organizations across the country use our open source API to host the calculator on their own website to access what we talk about as their green energy bank account that was unlocked with the IRA. But thanks to the leadership of states like Michigan, federal rebates aren't the only game in town. We have a host of federal, state, local, and utility incentives and rebates that folks can access. And so we've started to roll out state calculators across the country. And today, I'm excited to announce that later this month, we're going to be releasing our Michigan calculator so that you can, with your zip code and your income, in one streamlined, simple process, instead of going to 5, 6 websites, go to one place and understand all the benefits that are available to you to upgrade, and electrify your home. So please visit our website, take a look, share it with your networks, and we're excited to work with you to make sure that you can take advantage of your clean energy benefits. Thanks.
Hey, good morning. My name is Darren Riley. Oh, thank you for responding. My name is Darren Riley. I'm the founder and CEO of JustAir. JustAir is an air quality insights platform with the sole mission and purpose to ensure that everyone has access to clean air. I'm here today to share a little bit about our project in Wayne County. Wayne County being the largest county in Michigan, the county with the highest rates of asthma, where we partner with the county to deploy 100 fixed monitors to ensure that residents today can have the data they need to navigate a world that is happening to them. Also, throughout Wayne County, through the project, to be able to look at the patterns of pollution, to look at ways that we can do deeper intervention to alleviate some of that burden. So how did we get here? First, it starts with planning. Make sure this work is community-led through the 43 communities in Wayne County where community members and leaders can pick where the monitors go. We also married this with public health data. Going on to deployment. Got to show the gifts. Going on to the deployment process, it's not only important that we capture the information, but also important that the economic value is captured. So we train and also employ people from the community to do some of this monitors and maintenance and deployment, but it's all underpinned also through our management system, the JustAir software that you see behind the scenes. Our software is monitor agnostic. We can manage reference monitors, close to reference monitors, near reference monitors, and also low-cost sensors to ensure that we have quality assurance, incident response, maintenance, not to check a box, but to make sure people in our community like Teresa Landrup can walk out of her door, go to JustAir app, and ensure that she has data readily available that she trusts, right? We also, through our platform, I'm excited to announce we received a major investment from a major tech company, we can't say exactly who, to enhance our AI capabilities to employ models to do anomaly detection. That's a long-winded way of saying that we'll be able to, in the future, detect where local source pollutants are actually coming from. And also, I'm proud to announce not just Wayne County, but we're also here in Dearborn, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids. We're in 6 other states outside of Michigan. We work in tribal lands like Eastern Bay and Cherokee. We have worked and partnered with departments of transportation who use our information to look at inflation reduction assets, and also worked with other departments of environment outside of our state who are looking at using our data to inform cumulative impact law. So what do we do now that we have this high quality information, this infrastructure? We are first deploying JustAir, which we just deployed. You can log on today, receive really information from community members, to community members to see data that's happening around them, subscribe to monitors. I'm also excited to announce later this summer we're deploying 500 of the world's first connected inhaler to air quality monitors. So when I triangulate when I pull my asthma in my inhaler, I can triangulate pollutants next to me, so I can look at my patterns in pollution. With that being said, like yesterday when Donna said that someone said that they could not prove causality with the health impacts, Donna, I'm here to tell you that technical limitation is now lifted. And why do we do this work? We do this work because I developed asthma in Southwest Detroit, one of the most polluted zip codes. I'm tired of seeing my family in the ICU. I'm tired of seeing our community be lowest in the rankings. I'm also tired of seeing like our mothers who've been fighting for environmental justice, who continue to fight to this day. So we won't stop. What I won't be tired of, we won't stop. We'll keep innovating. We'll keep pushing the needle. We'll keep making sure that we have technology and responding to community to ensure that we have the data we need to create the future we deserve. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Mills, and I am the director of the Center for Empowering Communities at the University of Michigan. I'm here to talk to you about the key near-term bottleneck for the state to meet our climate goals, and that's finding communities willing to host renewable energy projects. But rather than give a doom and gloom story, I want to paint a positive vision. I believe that Michigan is on the path to be a model for the nation in how you advance statewide climate priorities without sacrificing local priorities. The siting law that passed last fall sets clear rules for local governments upon which to base their local zoning. As the Public Service Commission moves in implementing the law, I'm hopeful that they will reaffirm the importance of thoughtful community planning. And now there are increased resources to help communities across the state do that planning, thanks to a federal grant that EGLE just won. With this funding, EGLE and its partners will be adapting planning and zoning templates in light of the new law, expanding the Renewable Energy Academy Technical Assistance Program, and developing new tools to help communities visualize the benefits of hosting renewables. Among those key benefits is the new Renewable Ready Communities Award, which provides a $5,000 per megawatt bonus for communities that host large-scale renewables. The award gives financial benefits early on, during construction, before the tax revenues start flowing, and allows communities to point to specific, tangible community benefits that have arisen because of the project. If we have any millionaires or friends of millionaires in the audience, I encourage you to see me afterwards to talk about ways that we can make this funding available to the communities in the state that were early adopters in renewables. I think it's a real opportunity to see quicker wins and to be able to tell a positive story about the impact that renewables are having in these host communities. If you're not a millionaire, but you are a policy wonk, you can come and talk to me afterwards about the full web of policies that we might align to help get more renewables in the ground. From aligning our building and zoning codes, or electrical codes, to having our fire code prepped for battery storage, to making policies to take pressures off of the largest renewables projects. I think we've only just begun setting policies in the state for equitable deployment of renewables. I want to leave you with where I started. I believe that Michigan can be a national model in seeing host communities as a partner in the energy transition rather than an obstacle. I believe that Michigan can be a national model in showing how energy infrastructure can solve community problems rather than be the problem to solve. And I look forward to working together in making that vision a reality.
Thank all of you who were up here. In the words of the old Negro spiritual, damn, that was great. And was it Darren? Derek? I live in Detroit too. So we're going to do something a little different. We got a couple of minutes before we go into our breakout. There was a table talk circumstance that we skipped yesterday because we didn't have a lot of time for it. And it's called, What is Your Climate Superpower? The idea is this: to change everything, we need everyone. Everyone here is in some way a climate hero with qualities that in some cases might even be superpowers. They can bring to this idea of making sure that we make the planet a place our children can live. Finding your climate superpower was a concept developed by Dr. Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson, and it's a great way to look the hard work of climate change right in the eye and figure out what we can do best as a group is to be a part of the solution. So it's not just about finding out what you're good at, but what you enjoy and what your community needs. Here's what we're going to do for 5 minutes. At your table, take a minute to talk with the folks at the table about what your climate superpower might be. Maybe you'll meet that superhero you needed to move that project along, or just discover that you can turn a passion of yours into a climate action work. So it's sort of a open session, but talk carefully about those things. You're not going to share with anybody else around, just between yourselves. You got 5 minutes. Will we throw cold water on them if they go longer? No? Okay. All right, the 5-minute time limit is about up, but considering the fact that we won't be starting breakout sessions until 9:45, you certainly have time to continue the conversation if you like. I'd also mention between now, about 9:26 or 7 and 9:45, you've got time for bio breaks, time to check your calendars, etc. But there's also time to go around to the resource tables just on the other side in Hall B to talk with folks there and with the My Healthy Climate Plan Core to see if there are things you might be able to contribute to that work. At 9:45, when we do break out, we will do exactly as we did yesterday. The sessions are, one starts at 9:45, goes for an hour, in ballrooms 1 and 3, 5 and 7, 6 and 8, 2 and 4. They'll be in the same areas they were in yesterday. And then after that, after about a 10-minute break from 10:55 to 11:55, we have another set of breakouts in those same rooms. If any of you have trouble finding the rooms that you need to go to, please let us know.